Alright family, welcome back. I hope you guys have missed me and are happy to see me. I'm certainly happy to be making another episode. Anyway, we're back in the airport. We're actually flying into Panama City. And we're going to be shooting footage for a music video for the song Beauty Skin Deep. This little tenderoni is going to be my love interest in the video, and I'll be sure to give you guys some backstage footage. We stayed at the Royal Decameron, Panama, which is a lovely resort, all-inclusive. The problem is, as I did my research to book this place, they told me it was 45 minutes max from Panama City, which is a lie or inaccurate. It's actually 3 hours away. I wouldn't have booked it if I knew that in advance. So getting here initially was a major disappointment. Now, to be fair, the resort was as nice as any that you would find anywhere in the Caribbean. It was humongous, to tell you the truth. This is the night view of the same spot that I panned for you earlier in the daytime. Beautiful resort, I'll tell you no lie. This was the spot that we lodged in, and this is how big the resort is. Humongous. Nothing wrong with it. I would recommend it for some rest and relaxation. Everything you would ever need is here. But if you want to experience Panama, this isn't it. You have to go into the city and be amongst the people. Here is an actual look at Lot 47 where we stayed. Give you a real perspective of how huge this place is. And again, everything you would ever need is here. From the time you wake up to the time you go to sleep. There's a nightclub here that functions every night. On the weekends, it's a little more popping. The clubs was great. No complaints with this place. Now, if you specifically want to come here to enjoy the sun, the weather's gorgeous. I'm not going to lie to you. Everything is perfect. The food is okay. But you just want to come in to enjoy this specific area, there is an airport, which I'll get the name for you. I'll put it on the screen once I do, but there's an airport 5 minutes from here. We got the wind taken out of our sails because we flew into Panama City. It took us 3 hours to drive here. So again, today, planning to visit some of these other neighboring islands. Which ones, I'm not sure. Sandblast Island, which is the most picturesque of them all, is a 4.5 hour drive. Nah, had enough driving over here. Then the Cantadora Islands, I believe it's called. You have to go back into Panama City, 3 hour drive. You catch a ferry to go over there, or we can fly from here to there. That might be an option. Boca del Toro, Tobago, a bunch of neighboring islands that we can access. We have to figure out a way to do it, and hopefully we can. If not, we're stuck here for a few days. Unless we want to make the 3 hour drive back to Panama City. That we may have to do just that, but I'm not looking forward to it. So, if you're planning a stay at Decameron, just know that these are the challenges you're going to be facing. Like I said before, the place is a little dated, but still nice nonetheless. Now, I mentioned earlier that there's an airport 5 minutes away from here. The name of that airport is Rio Hato Scarlett Martinez International Airport. The abbreviations for it is RIH. Now, having mentioned that airport, that was the second disappointment I had. I couldn't fly my drone to get footage. Yeah, man, I ain't gonna hold you. First day was not a success whatsoever. So here we are on day 3, finally getting some shots, man. We only have 3 more days here, and I don't know if this is gonna happen. I felt like throwing in the towel, but you never do that. That's the last thing that you do. You fight until the last bell rings. So this was our first shot. It gave me hope and panic at the same time. The panic was that my rig wasn't as tight as it should have been. I didn't bring along an Allen key to tighten some of the pieces. I have a handheld on this rig and it was a little bit loose. And of course, we're in the middle of nowhere here. There was no opportunity for me to run to the store and buy an Allen key. One of these days, I'm going to show you the exact rig that I use. The shot wasn't as smooth as I would have liked it, but the image that was captured gave me enough to keep going. When life throws you lemons, you make lemonade. So here is my man, Big Bands Brown, who is from Panama and just so happened to be here at the same time we were. He hooked us up all the way. He was able to set up transportation for us. We traveled into Panama City and hung out all day. Got the footage we needed. We had expensive equipment. We had to leave. We couldn't lug that stuff around all day. We had to leave it in the car while we went off to do what we do. We needed a trustworthy person. Again, thanks to Big Bands. Without him, who could we have trusted to leave our equipment with? Now look, real rap. This drive was rough. So we did a little turn up, and I wasn't that turned up. I was annoyed. No one seemed to be bothered but me, and that bothered me.
Look at my guy from Panama playing that bravado. He's that bravado. Weed and Hennessy. Cause that's how we doing in Panama. We in Hennessy.
As you can see, as we approach Panama City, this is a highly developed city. Reminds me of Miami, but the weather was better. Miami gets a little too hot sometimes. I did get sunburn here. I don't know why, because the weather was just absolutely to die for. Never felt like the sun was too hot or anything, but I did get sunburn. So at the risk of making this episode too long, I'm not gonna take you into Panama City. We'll go right back to New York, but we did get a chance to hang out with Big Bands and we had a wonderful time. It was a great experience. Such a blessing. All right, guys, real quick. When you do a music video, you're supposed to have a storyboard. This way, you stick to a particular story that's being told in the video, and the storyboard assures that you get all your shots. Third thing that goes absolutely incorrect here is that the director had a copy of the storyboard and so did I. And guess what? We both forgot our copies at the hotel before we left to Panama City. So the storyboard is just a basic guideline for the shots you're supposed to get. And as you get them, you're supposed to check off the box at the corner, which guarantees that you're going to get the shot. Now, for example, the first shot here is also associated with images. And I'll show you our first shot. It's the intro first shot, which is supposed to be a drone shot. We weren't able to capture because I couldn't fly the drone. The second shot we was able to capture. I don't want to make this thing too drawn out, but that's how it went. Now, the next thing I want to show you, which I had mentioned to you before, is my actual rig that I brought to Panama. Pretty nice. And the problem I had, which wasn't a major problem, I was able to work with it, is the fact that I didn't tighten this, and this swivel wasn't supposed to happen. So in my shots, I held the rig like this. There was some swivel going on, which didn't give me the best image, but I was able to work with it. Keep in mind that most of these footage that I captured, only about 1 or 2 seconds of each is gonna get used. So I was able to get some good stuff. You'll see. So now we back in New York. I had to get footage of my man Rich. This dude always shows up, solid guy. And of course he came here and showed out. He's a true professional. I can't praise this guy enough. Delightful, this light of mine, hidden treasure that I have found, a diamond with a beautiful mind. Any time, I need motivation, she by my side, with inspiration.
Start. One more time. You can start with a smile or your hands on your face.
My friend gave me sun rays through thunder and like rain, enough to make my engine float on 80 octane. Watch my lane, not your concern. The whole road is fair game, anywhere I turn. She swerved with me, she merged with me. And if we hit a roadblock or the dope stop, she quit to get with pop, hit the block and purge with me.
Yeah, all right, brother Rich, here we are again. How you feeling? How you been?
I'm good, man.
People been asking about you. What you up to?
Still working on the music. You know what I'm saying? Trying to build those nice R&B house tracks, a little bit of smooth hip hop tracks. You know, so I'm still doing it, man. I'm here. I'm thankful.
Tell them again where they can find you.
richmusic.com. That's RYCH. Well, I'm sorry, richmusicllc.com. All right, so it's RYCH music. And yeah, Facebook, same thing, Rich Wayne. Instagram, Rich Wayne on Instagram. You know,
all right,
so
brother.
Doing the damn thing, man. You know, waiting for the payoff. So enjoying the motions in the time.
All right, all right.
All right.
All right, guys, here is our videographer, Mr. Elliot. Introduce yourself.
My name is Elliot. You can find me at Elliot Nation Photo on IG. I'm a photographer and videographer based in New York. If you have anything in Brooklyn City, send me up.
All right, what do we, can we talk about our setup real quick?
Oh yeah, our setup, you got a 3-light system over here. Continuous light, just a key light, you got a backlight, and something to take out the shadows. We have a nice little backdrop, just something white and clean. We got an event space out here in Long Island. Let's check them out, Flow Studios. It's great. Yeah.
All right. You're not much for talking much, are you?
Nah, I get the job done. That's it. You just shoot, you get the job done.
I appreciate you, brother.
Yeah, man. You guys are great. Keep it up.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
Someone recently asked, what's the purpose for the insights at the end of some of your episodes? Are you trying to kick knowledge? Are you trying to be a teacher or something? Well, no. I'm not trying to be a teacher. To be a teacher requires that you know something, and that you are the authority of some sort for that subject. I've repeatedly told you guys that I know nothing. What I am is an observer. I have eyes and ears and other senses which picks up information that needs to be processed. The way that information gets processed is driven by interpretation. Your perception oftentimes is your reality, but it is not always aligned with the truth. It is simply the way that you see things. Now, if I were to gather 10 people from different corners of the world and show them a thing, I'll bet that you'll get 10 different interpretations of that thing. Now, when I say a thing, I'm talking about a natural thing, something that comes from the earth and that all 10 people are familiar with. Out of that 10, whose interpretation would be the truth? Probably none. Now, I dare say that if you were to allow yourself to peruse the interpretation of all 10, you may come closer to the truth. Without going too deep into the rabbit hole, I say all this to point out that I am not a teacher and probably will never be. In this classroom of life, I am a consummate student with my notebook open, my pen in hand, and always ready to take notes. So, with all my insights, all I'm doing is simply giving you information for you to consider. You do with the information what you will.